Hey guys, it's Gypsy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made these cute little page toppers. But at the end I'll show you how they can be used for more than just topping a page. But this is going to be a great way for you to use up some of your scraps. I have a huge thing of scraps and I generally put stuff in but don't take stuff out because I don't know, I'm always starting from fresh and I need to learn how to use up my scraps. So that's what I did with this project. I'm using up some of my little pieces of fabric, random fabric that I have. And also I'm going to be using some index cards in this and I'll show you what's inside. I left this one plain because you can leave them plain or you can decorate them up however you want. I'm going to do a couple with you on camera and then we will decorate them at the end. Well, anyway, with this one, what I want to show you is that it's a swivel. This is what makes it a page topper able to grab onto a page because of that brad that we're going to be using to fasten these two pieces together. And inside there's a little mini pocket that you can keep your little ephemera in. You can decorate this up and leave that for like a little journaling spot in there. It can go however you want to stack it in there. So then there's a journaling space here, a journaling space there, and then a little place to tuck something in there. So let's get started. What I did was I took just regular index cards. I know there's some large and small ones out there. So what size you end up depends on what your starting size is. This is roughly 2.5 by 3 after I cut them. And I'm going to show you how I do mine so that I don't have to pull out my cutting tool. I don't want to have to do all that. But what we're going to need today is I pulled out some scraps and then, of course, just like some random pieces of fabric that I had in my thing that have been used for other projects. I've got some brads. You're going to need some whole, punched out circles. And this is a great time to use up the ones, I don't know if you can see that, but that sometimes we don't get them, a complete circle and they sometimes get square. Perfect time to use up those. In my previous video with the horizontal hidden paper clips, I told you to keep your little pieces of paper that was like offcuts of that. And with those, I just took those and rounded the corners, and that is going to make our little journaling spots that we're going to stick in our little pocket. And you're going to need your glue. You're going to need like a little mini hole punch and ink and bone folder and that kind of stuff. With that being said, let's get started. I kind of separated out I went through my scraps and separated out some colors that I wanted to work with. So we're going to just get started with this one. And the first thing you're going to do is I will show you. I just basically inked up. You can use yours if you want to coffee dye them or whatever. I always kind of just go like the simple route. And I don't really like the texture that these turn when they get wet with the coffee. So I kind of usually just, ink them up like that. Quick and easy. You don't have to, waste time. All right, so we're going to start with this. The first one, your hardest piece of paper, you want to try to keep for the top if you can. And then this one, your thinner piece of paper or however, put it on here. So I'm going to add some glue here. How are you guys today? I am doing better, more alert than in my last video. Again, I apologize for the noise. When I was recording, I had my granddaughter over because it's spring break here, and her and my daughter were in there playing and they were being noisy. So they were just in there, and I had already attempted to make that video earlier in the day, but was having some issues with my storage, and I've mentioned it before in my videos that I recently bought a new phone, and for some reason the storage on it sucks. So I usually record videos in like 10-minute increments just to make sure that I have enough space to be able to edit the video, because it's a whole mess. So I had gone through almost about an hour and a half of, you know, recording and editing just to kind of get down to, you know, the size video that I recorded. And by the time I got around to doing it the last time, I was tired and just zoned out and did not even hear the noise in the background. Then on top of that, my son dropped by, and anyway, so again, I apologize. All right, so as you saw, I just basically glued that down and then cut around it. That way I don't have to pull out my thing for each one. And I'm going to do basically the same thing with this. I previously rounded that one because I was going to make it into a journaling spot. But here, I'm just going to line this up, and it's okay because I'm going to end up rounding these corners anyway. Let me go ahead and round that one so it matches up before I get ready to cut. So you're basically just going to line it up and cut off the excess. And spring break, it seems like this week has flown by. It's already Thursday, and I have to go back to work on Monday, and I thought I was going to have so much done and I didn't get as much done as I wanted. So now I'm just going to go around and trim these edges. I'm going to do that for the top sheet and the bottom sheet. All right, so now before we put these together, we're going to choose our interior little pocket using one of these circles, and you want to kind of match it up. For me, I like to match it up a little bit. I do struggle with using my scraps, I think, a lot too, because I like things kind of to be coordinated, and I'm trying to get outside of my comfort zone with that, and I think that this project is helping me a little bit with that, because I'm putting together things that I wouldn't normally put together. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little glue here. Hope I'm in frame, you guys can see that. Putting just a little bit of glue here on this edge, and then I'm gonna pop that down where I want it to go. We're just creating a little tuck spot, and then so we're just going to go in the back and cut away the excess of that, you know, following that rounded corner. All right, now we can go back and ink and see if you're using a plain piece of paper like that, then that also becomes a journaling spot. And if you guys got any exciting projects coming up, anybody got any suggestions for like journaling groups that I can join on Facebook? I haven't really had time to take a look and see. I know that there's a huge community of junk journalers, and it'd be nice to be part of it. If anybody has any suggestions for some great groups who are taking new members, let me know. So anyway, I'm just going to choose one of these. I'm going to try to go kind of random. Like I said, I'm too busy always trying to match things. And I also didn't mention, but I'm going to be using, you know, some random little stamps that I have around my desk, just to kind of give that a little bit of touch. Actually, I'm going to go on this side, that way that they can journal on that one. I'm using antique walnut, or no, what is it? Walnut stain today. I probably should go with a darker, but it's okay. And at this point, if you want to do any stamping on this one, now is a good time before you start connecting it. So I am just going to do some random stamping with this little pad. This little one came from a package from the Dollar Tree. So just put a little stamp in there, you know, however you want to do it. You want to finish the thing up, probably a good idea. But we're going to go back and decorate this a little bit anyway, so. And after that, then all you need to do is just pop this in here. Pop this little piece into your pocket. Line that up. And then you're going to take your hole punch and put it there. Pop a hole. And then we're just going to come over here and find a couple of pieces of little fabric that would match that. Let's see what else we have over here. These are pieces from vintage handkerchief. So we're just going to tear that like that. And snip this one a little bit to kind of fray those edges, give it some nice texture. And we are going to take one of our brads. You can use any kind of brad you choose. Just going to get those through that fabric and then line them up and get them through the holes. I hope if I close it up a little bit, and then we're just going to twist it to where it's going horizontal at the top. And it's imperative that you kind of push them down, burnish them, that way that they will grip on to your papers better than if you don't. All right, and so we're just going to fuss this up a little bit here to get that fabric how we kind of want it. Get it kind of mussed up. And there you go. We'll set that aside and we'll decorate it at the end. Let's go ahead and make a couple more. Same thing, we're just going to line it up and cut off any excess. The only thing with your scraps, just make sure that they are big enough to cover whatever size your index card you're using. And if you wanted to, you could make these out of whole index cards without even cutting them out. But this is kind of a way to budget craft because you get the most out of each one of your things. Scraps out of the way, And then we're just going to line this up here. Of course, you could also use a tear ruler if you wanted to give your edges a little messier look. For this one, I kept it kind of straight. We're just going to clip the edges on this one. When I have time, I've got to go through and find some new videos showing me how to use up my scraps, because, as I said, I put more in than I take out. I'll show you guys at the end my scrap box, because it's crazy, like super crazy. And I know I have some good scraps in there. I just, like I said, I just don't ever really get around to it. So I've been wanting to do a video or a little project that I could use up my scraps more with. All right. And so we're going to find a little piece of something that might match with that. I think I kind of like this one. And then we're going to come down here again and just glue. Make sure we get a little bit of glue here, and then we'll pop that on. Scissors, glue, and paper. They love being attached to each other. All right, and then we'll find a little piece over here to use as a little pop in. And I think I like that one. And what can we stamp that one with? Me and my girls are working on trying to go and feed the homeless either today or tomorrow, depending on how I feel when I get through with this one. All right, so we're going to just get that stamped. It's not 100% in there, but that's okay. Still looks pretty good. All right, and that's still neutral enough on the back that they can journal on that. And then we're going to put those together. Pop a hole in the center. And then find a brad. And I've just been, all of the brads are upside down. I've just been kind of picking one up. I kind of like this, this vintage doily. Use a little piece of that, I think, just to finish that off. See, I need something behind it. Okay. All right, there we go. That there and there. Make sure they fit through our holes. Hope I'm on in frame. Trying not to be super loud this morning because my girls are still sleeping. It is spring break, so I'm letting them sleep in. I was up at like 6:30. All right, and then we got that one. Put that one off to the side. Where did I put that other one? I don't know, I put it somewhere over here. Okay, let's move right along. Okay. And this is just some paper that I kind of painted over. That'll be a nice little place for someone to journal on. Or add like a sticker or something. Nice little backdrop. Okay. And then I want to kind of get that on that, so I'm going to center that one a little bit more, just so it gets the part that I'm after. Anybody love the sound of cutting paper? I love that sound. And these vintage scissors here, they make a really good cutting sound. And then we're just going to line that up. Line it this way so I can actually see where I'm cutting. That white on white was kind of blinding. Okay, so we're just going to cut that. And also do not throw away like these little straight lines, like your little straight lines scraps, because I do have a project that I'll be making a video soon for that. All right, so we're going to be cutting these edges. And if you didn't see the video of the horizontal hidden paper clips that I made, I will definitely leave a link in the description, so please go check that out. Now, disclaimer, that is the video that I was a little tired on, so it is a little noisy. You can probably mute it and still understand exactly what I'm saying, because it's a pretty simple tutorial as well. All right, so now we're going to pick a pocket for this. Let's go. Here's one of the pieces that didn't come out completely round, and I'll show you why it's a great time to use those. I'm just going to go here in the corner again. And when you line that up, that piece is going to get cut off. So, and I forgot to ink this one. Let me pop that off and ink that really quick. No harm, no foul. As I always say, better late than never. So then we're just going to cut that. And so that's going to cut that bad edge right on off. And there we go. Get some ink on this. And if you feel like your top piece that you're going to be using is a little too thin, you can always back it with some tea dyed or coffee dyed paper to give it a little extra stability. Right, and let's pick out a little piece to go in here. Just kind of using the scraps that I have, so I'm not going to actually go cut anything up. Well, they can always stick like a little sticker there, so it's not Or they can journal on this side that's more neutral. So we'll go ahead and stamp on the other side. I got all of my junk right there in the screen. Let's see, what do I want to stamp with this time? I should be stamping with black ink. Let me grab my black ink really quick. I think it would show up better on something like this. I'm just using random little stamps that I have around my desk currently. All right, not too bad, not too bad. And then there's a space for them to journal. So I'll put that in there. Pop these together. Punch a hole. And then we'll find a brad. That brad kind of goes, but it doesn't matter because these are just random pieces that we are just throwing together with not much thought behind them. And then a little piece of this linen here. Let me see, do I have a better one? A thicker, yeah, here's a thicker little piece right there. Okay, it doesn't want to tear that way. Just rat it up a little bit. For this one, I might have to start these with a little bit of a hole. If the fabric is kind of tough, you might have to just kind of help it out a little bit. Okay. And another one down. You guys getting the rhythm of this? And just kind of like adjust your fabric however you want it to look on there. All right, we'll set that aside and we'll do one last one. All right, on to the third one. And now that you've seen me do two of them, I'm going to go ahead and just speed through this one really quick. All right, guys, so now that we are done with that, let's bring back the ones that we made earlier. We made these earlier, and so now we're just going to pull out a couple of things to decorate. Let's see what we have over here. I have some stamps. And of course, since we're using scraps, we got all kinds of little scraps that we can use. Let's see what looks good. That looks kind of good on that one. Maybe something like that. Or maybe on this one. And then what else we got? Oh, that's a cool one. Just looking to see if I had any with pink in it. I have that pink one. Maybe we can use that. And then let's see what else we got. We have maybe this pretty lighthouse on that one. And let's see what else we have. There's also some little labels that might look cute on a couple of these. Of course, you can use anything you want on some of these. You can, the sky's the limit on this project. Whatever is in your scrap box, you use. And then you use your little bitty, whatever you have to decorate. Doesn't have to be anything specific. Kind of like that one. Let's see what else we have over here. Maybe that one. And then we have some book page. I'm going to keep it quite simple today. I did have some, got a little bit of book page with some gold on it. So we're just going to tear a little bit of that. Ink around that. When you're using scraps, you have all these little things flying around. I think I'll put this on here. Ink around that little stamp a bit. Did I not get enough glue on there? I guess I did not. Add a little bit more so that sticks. Alright, done with that one. Let's get ahead and peel this off really quick. And I say really quick, but it's hard getting washi stickers off sometimes. Okay. This would have actually benefited from a little stamping. So I think I might just stamp that a little bit in the corners. Just use this as a buffer. And these don't have to have any rhyme or reason to them. They can kind of be stamped however you like, or not stamped. It's your preference. But because that is so empty up in that corner, make sure I do stamp all the way around here. These are just on as we go. No real rhyme or reason. And there. That's a messy one. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Actually, no. On here, we're going to be using this. I'm going to actually cut this one in half. Save that other half for something else. Do a little inking. Glue that one. Kind of centered, since this is also a big stamp and we're just kind of overlap. Oops. Give that a little bit of ink. I bought these stamps, a little bag lot at an estate sale. When I went back to get more, and I bought 2 bags, but when I went to go get more, they were all gone. Which I'm not really surprised, because there were some really cool ones in there. Alright, got that like that. The one thing I do like about a project like this is the variety. You guys know I like variety. And so this is perfect. So I probably should use my scraps more, since I do like variety, because they're all coming out so differently. And I do like that. Indeed. Put that right there. Give that a burnish. And then we'll come back with our stamp. And we'll layer that right. I like the word Paris, so I don't want to cover that up. And there we go. Put that right there in the middle of that. And that's perfect. I'm going to bring these closer to you guys, and then I'm going to show you some of the ones that I made before I started recording. That way you can get an idea of what some of these look like. These are the ones that I showed you earlier. And the ones I did today all kind of look like this with the fabric toppers, but I'm going to show you some alternates. So here's the ones that we did today. That one is really cute. And of course, you open it up. It's got your little ephemera on the inside. Your journaling space. You got journaling space here and there. And then this little messy one. I was supposed to add the stamp to that, but I can always go back and do that later. And you pop that one open. Oh, and we didn't pop anything in there, but that's okay. I can go back and pop something in there later. And then you got your journaling space here and there. Then you'll have a little piece in there. This one is cute, with that book page and a stamp and some old crochet doily and some vintage handkerchief. Very nice. And this one has a little piece in there. And then there's that one. And here's one that I didn't decorate, but I put the little piece in there. So that one's very cute. Same with that. See how they're fun and so different? You can make a bunch of these and put them in your journals, and none of them will look alike. And there we go, with a little piece there. Journaling space. Now here are some variations. Sorry, I knocked my camera. Some variations to the toppers or the fronts that you can use. I took this little piece right here. I think it's from a tea packet, but I used it and I popped it in, glued it in the corners, and I actually made a little tuck on the front. So you can do something like that. And of course, so you'd have your tuck there and a tuck here, and then spaces there. I took the circle and cut it in half and then just used that as a topper on that one. Very cute. Same thing. Same thing with this one. And if you don't want these moving around, you can always glue those in the back. Use a little stamp and some gold paper there. Now, if you want to really get fancy, then you can use a topper like this. I'll be using, I'll be making a video probably on how I made these little toppers, because I've used them a lot in my crafting. And that, once you put it in the book, then that is going to stand over pretty much all of your pages. And then that way you can kind of, see it. It'll be kind of like a book topper thing. But let me show you how you can use them in a journal, or how they look in a journal. This is quickly becoming my journal of reference. It's really the only one that I'm currently working on. But like, if you want to take these and pop them over one of your envelopes, you can do that, and they stay in place. That's why it's imperative for you to push down on that brad, so they stay in place there. That's on top of a envelope. Here's on top of a page. Now, if you were going to be using one like this with a big topper on it, then of course this is what it would look like closed. You would see it. And of course you can pop it that way. That way you can glue it in place. Then the other ones, you can just pop them on this. They can take the place of kind of like a hidden paper clip a little bit. You pop them there, and then you can stick something. Let me see, what do I have? Don't really have much on my desk, but you can stick stuff back there. There's like a little thing, a little tuck. You can pop them on top of, I haven't glued this down yet or decided whether I was going to, but you can stick them into little pockets. They can sit and adorn a pocket, here or there. And there's lots of little fun things that you can make with these cute little book toppers or page toppers that we made today. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll get to use a bunch of your scraps up making this project. Let me know down in the comments what kind of toppers you would use on yours. And do you have a lot of, oh, I said I was going to show you guys really quick all of my scraps. This is crazy, like crazy. Hold on, let me get this humongous thing. But this is my current scrap box. Just look at that. Look at how crazy that is. I've got like tons and tons and tons and stuff that I just have not gone back. I know this is ridiculous, but I'm going to get around to doing it. And with little projects like this, I think I'll be able to knock some of these scraps out pretty quickly. So, if you guys have any videos that excuse that noise, that are good scrap busters videos that you guys have seen, let me know down in the comments. If you're new here and you like my content, excuse me, if you like my content, let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit the notification bell. If you're brand new here, please consider subscribing, because I will be putting at least 2 videos per week. And my old subscribers, thank you for coming back and watching this video as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!